Can this be my or even your all-around lens? Is this the only lens you need? So as I invested into the Sony A7IV Mark IV, there was basically one major question. What lenses will I get? Sometimes you need to decide if you need a lens or you want a lens. There's definitely a difference between need and want when buying lenses, and lenses going very fast, way more expensive than camera bodies itself. And look at that, everything is flooded in York again. We had a bit of a crazy day yesterday and it just did rain and did not stop all day long, so half of York is flooded again. So after having already a lens lineup for the Fujifilm X system, I've been thinking about what actually is important this time when I invest into glass for my camera. And there have been 2 to 3 points which I thought was this time important. I wanted a lens which is basically an all-rounder, which can go wide enough so that I can do some vlogging, I can zoom out enough, and I have a pretty much all-around lens. Some image stabilization within a lens would be fantastic as well. So I ended up buying a 24-105 f4 G Master lens. And I need to confess, between you and me, this lens is second-hand, but there's definitely nothing wrong with buying second-hand lenses. You get a good price on it, the quality, if you buy a good, decent, mint condition lens, are fantastic, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Buying second-hand lenses and saving a bit of money. Of course, it's just the f4, but I personally think if you're looking for a run and gun lens, a lens you can put onto your camera and you can go wide enough that you can do some vlogging, you can zoom out enough to get the reach of 105mm, then an f4 lens, there's nothing wrong. Also, you will save some weight with this lens as well, because the f4 lens is usually more compact than a f2.8 lens. When people hear f4, then there are usually two questions. What about low light and what about bokeh? But quite frankly, do you always need bokeh? Would it make sense to shoot like this scenario right now when I do some vlogging on a f1.2? Probably not. You want to step down to f2.8 to f4 or even higher when it's a sunny day and you're using already a variable ND filter as well. So f4 definitely will benefit you as well. You get more contrast in your image and also a sharper image compared to f2.8 or even f1.2. And for the bokeh, we're shooting at 35mm right now at the aperture of f4, and if I make a step to the side, you can see there's enough background blur going. So you don't need to worry too much about the background blur. There's one little tip: zoom out as far as you can, go as close as you can to your subject, and you get the most background blur bokeh you can get with this lens. I'm definitely not ready for Christmas. However, now it's actually a very good time to show you that you even can shoot on an f4 great low light images or videos. And we took already off the ND filter, f4, ISO around 3200, and yeah, let me show you a few clips. So here's the thing, you easily can use the f4 lens in the evening, and as an example right now I'm using a street light to actually light the scene, and I'm perfectly exposed as well, or plus 0.7 stops overexposed by 6400 ISO. So it's always negotiable how much grain and noise you're accepting in your footage. So here are my final thoughts about the 24-105 f4 G Master OSS. I found this lens a very good starting point. Right now, if you're new to the Sony system, having a lens which can shoot as wide open as 24mm up to 105mm, I think it's a very good starting point. It gives you a lot of flexibility, the autofocus is good, You got OIS built in, and overall the handling of this lens was fantastic. It's not too heavy either, so you can have this lens all day long on your camera body, but also having a function button on the lens itself. I think that's a very clever idea from Sony. And I'm not 100% sure what I want to use my function button for yet. I might gonna program it to autofocus or manual focus. So if I zoom in and zoom out, or think I want to switch over to manual focus, I just need to press a button on the lens. I found this a very clever idea as well. So the main question before we finish this video, can this be my or even your all-around lens? Is this the only lens you need when shooting portraits, photography, landscape, street, travel, vlogging, you name a subject? Is this the lens you are happy with for the next 6 months, 1 year, or even longer? I personally think it can be. You got a variety of things you can shoot with this lens. You can shoot nice and wide at 24mm. It's still wide enough to have a bit of vlogging feeling. You're not too close to the lens. You can zoom out to 105mm, which can be beneficial and handy in certain moments. But also the aperture of f4, on the daytime, it's not a big deal breaker at all. If you close down your aperture, you will gain on sharpness, on contrast, and your image overall will look better. So a f4 lens is not necessarily a downside. A f4 lens is also smaller compared to a f2.8 lens. So overall, I think that this lens was definitely a good purchase, and I'm gonna use it way more often than I probably will think I do. And yeah, with that said, I hope you liked this video today, guys, and if you do, let me know in the comments, like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you, my friend, very soon in another video. Cheers, mate.